second chance. May I ask a question right off the bat, as they say? You yourself just spoke about what is happening in the global gas markets, and many nations are practically in a panic over what is happening. Prices have skyrocketed, and it's unclear what comes next for prices. It's also unclear what comes next for supplies. And here, of course, it's impossible to avoid recalling that Europe kept banning our gas, and soon new bans are precisely set to take effect there in April. Prohibitions on short-term supplies of Russian liquefied gas. Then there will be even more bans.
Regarding the contracts that were signed for around the summer of last year.
Yes, and then there were additional restrictions, and now today they've already begun to discuss the possibility of shifting these prohibition dates, given the situation that's unfolding in the world.
Well, first and foremost, Russia has always been and continues to be a reliable supplier of energy resources for all of our partners, including, I might add, those in Europe.
And we will operate precisely in this manner with those partners of ours who are themselves reliable counterparties, such as, for example, in Eastern Europe, countries like Slovakia and Hungary.
We supply our energy resources there, our oil and gas, and we intend to continue doing so in the future, provided, of course, that the leadership of these countries pursues the same policy as today and specifically remains reliable partners for us.
When it comes to Europe, what is currently taking place in the European markets is, of course, primarily the direct result of the mistaken policies of the European authorities in the energy sector. This is an abuse of the green agenda. This is the utilization of all these instruments for domestic political activities and pursuit of party or group objectives. This policy has nothing in common with the interests of the people of these nations. Now, indeed, the prices of both oil and gas have risen.
As for oil, it's quite understandable that this situation is directly linked to, among other factors, the various restrictions imposed on Russian oil.
And additionally, everything that is now happening in the Middle East with the aggression against Iran, all of this compounds, leading to such a difficult and frankly harsh outcome for consumers.
And as for gas, the sharp rise in prices on the European market is not even directly, as of today, connected with any limitations in gas deliveries to the European market. You see, the primary gas suppliers, they haven't actually cut their volumes. Who are the main suppliers in today's market? That's Algeria, the United States, Norway, and Russia to some extent. No one has actually reduced the supply, yet prices have already soared to $700. Why is that? It's because of the general situation across all global markets, specifically including both oil and, in this particular case, the gas markets.
Because of the general situation, as new clients have emerged who are ready and willing to acquire the very same natural gas at significantly higher prices, in this specific instance, due to the ongoing events in the Middle East, because of the blocking of the Strait of Hormuz, and so forth. And if such premium buyers emerge, then even from the European market, I believe, I'm even quite certain, that some of the traditional suppliers currently operating there, such as, for instance, American companies, will, of course, inevitably shift their focus to where they can receive higher payments.
This is completely natural. There is absolutely nothing here, no political undercurrent whatsoever. It's purely a business matter and nothing more. Therefore, EnergyShock, this, I will repeat once more, is the result of a mistaken policy, the policy of European authorities, and for many, many years. In this connection, I am thinking about the following.
Anyways, as they just said, they are planning in a month, on the 24th, which is the last day, starting from the 25th, to introduce restrictions on the purchase of Russian gas, including its liquefied form. And in a year, in 2027, even further restrictions up to a complete ban. However, at this very moment, other markets are beginning to open up. And perhaps it would be significantly more beneficial for us to immediately halt our shipments to the European market and instead redirect our efforts towards those new markets that are currently becoming available so that we can firmly establish our presence there. And here, I want to make it absolutely clear. There is no political subtext whatsoever. Well, if they're going to shut us down in a month or two anyway, wouldn't it be better for us to just stop now and move to those countries that are truly reliable partners and establish ourselves firmly there?
However, this is not a definitive solution. This is, in this particular instance, merely what one might call thinking aloud. I will certainly instruct the government to ensure that it, in close collaboration with our companies, thoroughly addresses this entire matter.
Important news. Our gas tanker has been attacked again, this time in the Mediterranean Sea, seriously attacked. How can you comment on everything that's happening?
This is a terrorist attack. We've encountered things of this nature many times before.
But what's surprising is that this only exacerbates the situation on global energy markets, on gas markets, including, and in this particular case, primarily for Europe. It turns out that the Kyiv regime is actually biting the hand that feeds it, namely the outstretched hand of the European Union. The European Union provides the Kyiv regime with endless assistance, both with weapons and with money, yet the Kyiv regime creates problems for the European Union one after another. Well, and as for the overall behavior, then this behavior carries a rather aggressive character both from the side of the Kyiv regime, and it is extremely dangerous, because I have already spoken about this particular issue. According to intelligence data available to our special services, just as the Nord Stream pipelines were once deliberately sabotaged, an operation is now being prepared in Kyiv with the support of certain Western special services to blow up both the Blue Stream and Turk Stream pipelines. We have already informed our Turkish friends on this matter. We'll see what will happen in this particular area, but this is a very dangerous game, especially today.